The hangar of Drakthir Citadel was alive with the hum of machinery and the smell of molten metal. Sparks flickered across the walls, and the massive armored wings of Dragon Queen Vaethra cast shadows like storms across the polished floors. Then came the roar. A sound so powerful it rattled the metal beams and sent waves of fear through every technician and soldier present. "Who fixed my armor?" Vaethra's voice boomed, echoing across the vast hangar. Sparks danced in the air from the sheer force of her fury. Mechanics scrambled. Guards leapt into formation, and even the veteran engineers of Drakthir Citadel froze. The Dragon Queen's wrath was legendary. She could melt steel with a glare alone. Her molten breath had scorched entire training halls. Amid the chaos, one figure stood calmly, hands resting on a grease-stained wrench. Ethan Carter, a young human mechanic barely 25, wiped his brow, smudged with oil. He swallowed and stepped forward. I fixed your armor, Your Majesty," he said, voice steady despite the storm around him. For a moment there was silence. Even the Dragon Queen's guards held their breath. None had ever dared speak to her directly without trembling. Vaethra's amber eyes narrowed, wings flaring slightly. Sparks hissed from her claws as molten heat radiated from her body. "Explain yourself, human. How dare you touch the sacred armor of the Dragon Queen without permission?" Ethan cleared his throat. "It was damaged. I noticed stress fractures in the plating, hydraulic strain in the wing joints, and calibration issues in the energy conduits. I repaired and reinforced everything. It's fully operational and safer than before." A murmur ran through the hangar. Guards whispered nervously. The human dared approach her and survived. Vaethra stepped forward, the ground trembling beneath her claws. "If your work fails in battle, you will die." "Yes, Your Majesty," Ethan replied calmly. "But I double-checked everything. It's ready for a live test." The Queen raised a wing, the translucent membrane catching the light. "Wear it. Move. Show me that this human has not destroyed centuries of dragon engineering." The armor was massive, ancient, and complex, woven with metallic alloys and reinforced with adaptive energy plating. Most humans could not comprehend it, let alone repair it. Ethan moved efficiently, adjusted the hydraulic joints for full mobility, recalibrated the energy channels for optimal power distribution, tested the wing actuators under load conditions, ensuring agility, double-checked temperature resistors for combat heat resistance. Vaethra hovered nearby, molten breath forming small clouds of smoke, her eyes fixed on Ethan. She expected disaster. When the test concluded, Ethan stepped back and gestured to her. "It's ready, Your Majesty. All systems functional." Vaethra's expression was unreadable as she stepped into the armor. She flexed her wings experimentally. The movement was smoother, faster than before, with no sign of strain. She snapped her tail and leapt across the hangar, landing perfectly. Sparks scattered harmlessly beneath her claws. The Queen's golden eyes widened. "This human has improved my armor?" Ethan gave a modest shrug. "Just made sure it works safely and efficiently. The design was brilliant already. I only added human precision." For the first time, the guards whispered openly, "The human did what none of us dared attempt. He improved her armor and survived." Vaethra's lips curved slightly, the faintest hint of a smile. She rarely smiled, and never at anyone outside her inner circle. "Perhaps you are worth keeping around, human," she said, her voice softer but still authoritative. Ethan bowed. "I'm honored to serve, Your Majesty." The Queen's eyes studied him longer than anyone expected. Her curiosity piqued. He had courage. He had skill. He had calmness in the face of her legendary wrath. This was HFY in action. Courage to confront an overwhelmingly powerful alien authority. Intelligence and skill that rivaled centuries of alien engineering. Humility and respect in the face of potential death. Even the Queen's most loyal advisors began to murmur, "This human may be extraordinary." Later, in the quieter part of the hangar, Ethan cleaned his tools while Vaethra observed. "You moved with care, and yet efficiency. she said, her tone almost approving. Few humans are so composed under pressure. Ethan shrugged. Some of us learn to stay calm when the stakes are high. Indeed, Vaithra replied, and you did not grovel. That is unusual. The human's composure, his respect, and his quiet confidence had already begun to bridge the gap between species. The Dragon Queen, who had expected chaos and failure, now saw something rare, a human worthy of her attention. And in that hangar, amidst molten sparks and ancient steel, HFY quietly emerged. Courage, skill, and heart in a human who had dared to stand before a Dragon Queen, and succeeded. The hangar doors opened to reveal the vast training grounds of Drakthir Citadel. Heat shimmered in the air, and the sound of grinding metal echoed across the arena. Dragon Queen Vaithra stepped forward, the newly repaired armor gleaming under the sunlight. Her wings extended fully, casting a shadow over Ethan Carter, the human who had dared touch her armor. Today, human, Vaithra said, her voice resonant. We see if your work holds in battle. If it fails, you die. If it succeeds, perhaps you are worthy of my attention. Ethan nodded, calm as ever. I understand, Your Majesty. I've checked every joint, every conduit. It's ready. Vaithra activated the arena's combat simulation. Holographic drones, designed to mimic the agility and firepower of enemy dragons, appeared in the air. The human technicians who had once whispered nervously now watched with bated breath. Could one human survive the Queen's test? Vaithra flexed her wings experimentally. Remember, human. Adapt and endure. Ethan grinned faintly. That's what humans do best. The drones lunged at Vaithra with calculated speed, their claws and energy projectiles aimed with deadly precision. Ethan's hands moved quickly, making final adjustments to the armor's control panels. The wing actuators responded instantly, allowing Vaithra to dodge high-speed strikes. The energy plating absorbed impacts far beyond normal tolerance. Hydraulic boosters enhanced her leaps and spins. Vaithra's movements were flawless, yet smoother, more agile than ever. Each maneuver reflected Ethan's meticulous work, and the Queen noticed every improvement. A guard whispered, "The human, he made her faster, stronger, smarter." Midway through the simulation, a drone misfired, spinning wildly toward the Queen. Ethan shouted, "Duck!" Vaithra pivoted just in time, landing with a flourish and shaking her head. "You humans, always shouting at dragons like we can't see." Ethan chuckled, hands on the console. Better safe than toasted. Even Vaithra's lips twitched into the faintest smile. Humor in the middle of battle? Unexpected but welcome. Hours passed as drones, obstacles, and environmental hazards tested the armor. Ethan remained calm at every moment, giving precise commands, anticipating failures before they occurred. Vaithra began to understand. This was more than mechanics. This was human ingenuity in action. Where dragons relied on brute strength, Ethan optimized systems for efficiency. Where dragons would panic under pressure, Ethan predicted contingencies. Where dragons saw risk, Ethan saw opportunity. By the end of the simulation, every drone had been neutralized, every obstacle cleared. Vaithra landed, breathing heavily, and looked directly at Ethan. "Your work is remarkable," she said quietly. "Not only does it hold, it enhances my capabilities. You are not what I expected from your species." Ethan smiled. "I aim to surprise your Majesty." The Dragon Queen took a step closer, wings folding slightly. Her gaze softened. "Few humans could face me, let alone my armor, let alone survive the tests. You are fearless, intelligent, and audacious." Ethan bowed respectfully. "I only did what humans do best. Observe, adapt, and stay calm when the stakes are high." Her eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Audacious, yes, but you also respect the machine, the process, and me. That is unusual, perhaps worthy of attention." Guards and engineers whispered among themselves. Ethan had not just survived. He had earned the Queen's grudging respect, and perhaps something more. Vaithra turned to the assembly of dragon warriors. Witness what humans are capable of. This one may yet prove valuable beyond repair work. Even the most seasoned dragons nodded, impressed. Ethan's calm intelligence, courage, and skill had shifted their perception of humanity forever. Later, as he cleaned tools in the hangar, Vaithra's massive shadow fell across him. "You did well today," she said. "But know this, I do not tolerate mistakes. Tomorrow your ingenuity will be tested further. The armor, and you must withstand greater trials." Ethan looked up, grin steady, hands covered in grease. "I'll be ready, Your Majesty. That's what humans do." Vaithra allowed herself a subtle, rare smile. The tension between alien power and human ingenuity was no longer just curiosity. It was mutual respect. And in that moment, HFY was undeniable. One human, standing calm, clever, and courageous, had earned the admiration of a dragon queen. The next morning, the training grounds of Drakthar Citadel were buzzing with activity. Dragon warriors from every corner of the Empire had been summoned to witness Ethan Carter's next challenge. The Queen, Vaithra, stood tall in her now fully enhanced armor. Her wings stretched wide, the sun glinting off reinforced plating. Today, the human mechanic would face rivals, skeptics, and deadly simulations designed to push him to his limits. "Human," Vaithra's voice rang across the grounds. "Your ingenuity yesterday impressed me. Today you will face my champions. If you survive, your place here may be secured. Fail, and your usefulness ends." Ethan wiped grease from his hands, straightened his posture, and nodded. "I'm ready, Your Majesty. Let's begin." 3 elite dragon warriors stepped forward. Draxel, Morvith, and Salira. They were veterans of hundreds of battles, each with claws sharp enough to pierce armor and reflexes faster than most humans could comprehend. "Do not underestimate this human, warriors," Vaithra warned, wings folding elegantly. "He has improved my armor. You will test him, but do not harm me or yourselves in the process." The warriors smirked. A human was small, weak, and inexperienced. What could he do against centuries of draconic training? Ethan took a deep breath and prepared the armor's manual interface. The challenge began with a simulated skirmish. Holographic targets, moving obstacles, and high-speed attacks from the warriors. Ethan quickly adjusted the armor's controls. Enhanced wing thrusts allowed him to dodge simultaneous attacks. Tail actuators counterbalanced momentum to maintain stability. Energy shields activated precisely when attacks approached critical impact. The warriors lunged, tested his reactions, and tried to corner him. But each time, Ethan's quick thinking and calm observation kept him safe. When Draxel aimed a sweeping strike, Ethan redirected energy to absorb the blow. When Morvith launched a simulated fireball, Ethan calculated the angle of flight and sidestepped with perfect timing. Salira tried a flanking maneuver, but Ethan anticipated it, pivoting and using her momentum to spin her harmlessly into the ground. Vaithra observed silently, her amber eyes widening with every near miss. The human was adapting faster than any dragon she had seen. At one point, a misfired holographic attack sent sparks toward Ethan's feet. He glanced up at Vaithra and called out, grinning, "Your Majesty, I didn't sign up for a fireworks display." Vaithra snorted softly, smoke curling from her nostrils. "Do not joke at your peril, human, but I admit, it is amusing." Even in the middle of deadly trials, Ethan's humor and composure earned her reluctant admiration. Hours passed, and the human continued to survive impossible odds. By the end of the day, he had endured attacks from the Empire's best warriors. He had adapted the Queen's armor in real time for maximum effectiveness. He had avoided injury, anticipated hazards, and maintained composure under extreme stress. The warriors, initially dismissive, now nodded in respect. "He is remarkable," Draxel admitted. "No human should endure this. Yet he thrives." Vaithra stepped down from her platform and approached Ethan. Her armor gleamed, wings partially folded. "You are clever, patient, and bold. You are not like other humans. Few would survive my challenges, and none would do so with grace. Ethan bowed. I only do what humans do best. Observe, adapt, and remain calm under pressure. For the first time in the Citadel, a human had stood among dragon champions and earned not just survival, but respect. His courage was undeniable. His intelligence and skill rivaled ancient draconic knowledge. His humility and humor reminded even the queen that human ingenuity was something to admire. Vaithra studied him thoughtfully. Perhaps I underestimated your species. Perhaps you are truly worthy of attention. Ethan smiled faintly. I aim to exceed expectations, Your Majesty. That's all humans ever try to do. Guards and engineers whispered among themselves. Ethan's composure, intelligence, and courage had shifted the perception of humans across the Citadel. The Dragon Queen allowed herself a rare smile. Tomorrow your final trial begins. Only then will we know if you are truly mine to keep around. The sun rose over Drakthir Citadel, casting molten gold light across the training grounds. The entire Citadel was assembled to witness the final test of Ethan Carter, the lone human who had dared repair the Dragon Queen's armor. Dragon Queen Vaithra stood atop a raised platform, wings partially unfurled. Her armor gleamed, enhancements by Ethan integrated seamlessly into the centuries-old plating. Human, she called, voice reverberating across the courtyard. Today you face the ultimate trial. Not only will you protect me and my armor, but you will survive challenges designed to push your mind, body, and ingenuity beyond the limits of your species. Succeed, and you will earn my full trust. Fail, and you will be gone from my presence forever. Ethan, calm as ever, wiped grease from his hands and adjusted his tool belt. I'm ready, Your Majesty. Let's begin. Vaithra signaled, and the arena transformed. Holographic enemies, environmental hazards, and moving obstacles filled the grounds. Ethan would guide the queen through the scenario while simultaneously managing armor controls, defensive systems, and situational awareness. The first wave of enemies launched. Fast, deadly drones mimicking the speed and agility of elite dragon warriors. Ethan immediately adjusted wing hydraulics, reinforced the energy shields, and optimized maneuvering thrusters. Vaithra moved with remarkable fluidity, executing spins, leaps, and evasive maneuvers that impressed even the veteran guards. Not bad for a human, she muttered, smoke curling from her nostrils. The trial escalated. Environmental hazards appeared, collapsing pillars, molten geysers, and unstable platforms. Drones attacked from all angles. Ethan reacted calmly, giving real-time commands to the armor. He adjusted wing articulation to navigate tight spaces, recalibrated energy shields to absorb the most dangerous impacts, rewired tail actuators for precise balance during high-speed maneuvers. Every time Vaithra landed a complex move, Ethan anticipated the next hazard. Even the queen was impressed. This human does not simply react, he predicts. During a moment of chaos, a misfired drone spiraled directly at Vaithra. Ethan shouted instinctively, "Watch out! That one's going to roast you." Vaithra spun, landing perfectly on a platform, and glared at him. "Do not speak at your peril, human." Ethan grinned despite the tension. "I meant to save your life." Humor optional. The queen let out a soft chuckle, a rare, personal sound, which in her world was as significant as victory in battle. Hours passed. Ethan maneuvered the armor and guided Vaithra through impossible scenarios. He kept the queen safe without taking unnecessary risks. He used intelligence and foresight rather than brute force. He maintained calm, humor, and respect under extreme stress. The dragon warriors and guards watched in awe. A human, small and seemingly fragile, had survived challenges that had bested seasoned dragons. Even Vaithra's elite council murmured, "He is extraordinary." Finally, the trial ended. Vaithra landed gracefully, wings folding. She approached Ethan, her eyes burning with an intensity that was equal parts respect and curiosity. "You have proven yourself human," she said. "Not by strength alone, nor by luck, but by courage, intelligence, and composure. You have survived what most dragons would fail. You have earned my respect and my trust." Ethan bowed. "I only did what humans do best. Observe, adapt, and remain calm." Her lips curved into a faint smile. "And yet, you did it with humor, patience, and respect. Perhaps you are truly mine to keep around." By the end of the trial, Ethan had earned the Queen's admiration. He had demonstrated human ingenuity surpassing alien expectations. He had survived challenges designed to test every limit of courage, skill, and composure. HFY. Human courage, intelligence, heart, and humor was undeniable. The Queen stepped closer, massive and imposing, yet there was warmth in her eyes. "You are not like other humans. You are remarkable, audacious, and clever." Ethan smiled, grease on his hands, exhaustion in his muscles, but calm as ever. "I aim to exceed expectations, Your Majesty. That's what humans do." Vaithra extended her clawed hand, not in command, but in trust and acknowledgement. Ethan took it respectfully, hands steady. "From this day forward," she declared, voice echoing across the citadel, "he is more than a mechanic. He is mine, and a testament to the ingenuity and courage of your species." The crowd erupted in whispers and cheers. Guards, engineers, and dragons alike understood. Humans were capable of greatness far beyond their size and numbers. And so the legend of Ethan Carter, the human who repaired the Dragon Queen's armor and earned her trust, began. HFY had triumphed. Courage, intelligence, humor, and respect had bridged the gap between species, leaving an indelible mark on the Citadel and the Queen herself.